All right, recording is rolling. It is Tuesday, December 8th, and we are on day 2 of this construction project, this contraption. So, guys, remember what we're doing? We're turning rotational motion into linear motion with just index paper and glue. Oh, by the way, if you are short any index paper, I got a whole stack right here. You guys need any more? You guys can get some right there. Okay. So we should be about this far, right? So let me show you guys the master plan we were working on from yesterday, and then how far we got. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a couple of rotating wheels. Got a couple of axles set. These wheels are ready to go. Got a couple of pegs up. Right, and we constructed that bit. Right, and the next thing we're going to do is throw this rod on top. Right, so next step is about to be cut a couple of holes to put these pegs in. Right, okay. And then this whole thing can rotate around together. Now, the other part we're going to build today is this whole bit down here. So we need to build some support structures. We're going to have a rod going across. The way we worked out pretty good earlier today was to just cut a window, make a pretty big diameter rod, and to cut a window in it. Right? So this could like slide through. Right? So let me show you guys the final product for a couple classes ago. Okay. This all comes together. I think you can do a little bit better job with you guys because this is just the first one we did. Okay. So it ended up looking like this. Right. And see, I'm turning like rotational motion, and that's causing this to have like linear motion just back and forth. Okay, so that. Okay. So that's what we're going for. All right, you guys ready for day 2 of this? All right, so we're up to here, got this. All right, so I think the next thing we do is take this rod, this last thing we did yesterday, take this rod and cut a couple holes in it so it just rests on top of these pegs. Maybe not too loose, but not too tight. You guys can like turn with these, okay? And I need to make sure I get the windows in the right spot so that this whole thing this rod can travel around with these 2 pegs. So I need the distance between my windows to also be the distance between these 2 pegs, which is going to be constant as it goes around, just like you guys saw. Okay. Which the fact that my circles are just barely touching at the circumference means it's going to be the same thing as the diameter of a circle because this radius plus this radius. You guys see that? Right, about that distance. Okay. So I got to make sure you get this distance right. Right. Let me show you guys a counter example. You would not want to do this and then cut the holes based on that because they'd be too close together to that stuff. It wouldn't actually go all the way around. Okay. Same thing. You wouldn't want to do this. They'd be too far apart. Okay. But if you get them just like this, okay, should match the diameter of the circle. Which what's the diameter of a circle? Mine's about 10 centimeters diameter. Okay, let's make sure this is between these. Yeah, these 2 guys, peg to peg is 10 centimeters. So I want to cut a couple of holes that are 10 centimeters apart. Make a mark. Okay. So like right there and right there. Is that 10 centimeters? Yep, that is 10 centimeters right there, window to window, 10 centimeters. Okay. So take some scissors. Make some cuts. Remember, these pegs have to be able to fit in them, not too tight and not too loose. So that looks about good. That's what I'm looking for right there. All right, do this other one. All right, got a couple of windows. All right, let's take that. So throw this on, make sure this works. If it doesn't quite, I can go back and modify it a little bit. Ooh, actually, I think that window's a little bit too tight. I think both my windows are just a little bit too small, which is okay because I can just go back and cut them a little bit bigger. right, how about this? Yeah. All right, so that fits in right there. Make sure this whole thing rotates around. Okay, so if you got the window spacing correct, then it should rotate all the way around, just like that. Aha! Look at there, look at there. Go all the way around. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go at my own pace today. You guys have seen the master plan and an example, so you guys know where we're going with this. So where's there you go. Yeah.
I'm a little confused on how to do the ice.
See what this one is. Oh, yeah, I built that a little bit different.
Oh,
But I'll do it along with you guys here. Yeah. All right. So the way I drew it yesterday is to sketch up something on the fly, and the way I ended up putting it together is a little bit different down here. Now, the idea is that we need a rod that goes perpendicular to this initial rod, right? And they'll be able to like slide through to have like a window here. It's kind of like this. Right? But the way I ended up building this was instead of making like these like Y frames, instead I ended up making like a box frame, guys, like this. Okay? And to give it the same elevation, because these are elevated a little bit. This whole rod right here is elevated a little bit. Okay. What I ended up doing was slipping an additional cylinder underneath here. So there's like a hidden cylinder down here. Okay, so that's just to support this guy, just to bring it up to elevation. Okay. So we're gonna do pretty much that. Let's get that. Let's make the frame bit. How about that? So I'm gonna take one of these sheets. I'm gonna make a hot dog fold. And cut along that line, or I'll just tear this in half along that line. Hot dog fold line. There's the cutter tear right there. Okay. And then this bit, I'm gonna roll it. Well, here, let's chop this up into 6 smaller rectangles. Right, so I'm gonna fold hamburger style. Okay. And then each one of those need to fold into thirds. So that looks like about a third right there. And a third. And on this side, that looks pretty close to a third. And a third. All right, so these may not be exact 6, but it's pretty close. All right, so I got my hot dog half sheet, and I'm gonna chop that into 6 smaller rectangles. Okay. I'm gonna use these to make cylinders, which is going to make those frames. Of course, you guys can cut these out if you want. You guys have scissors. Sure.
I know. I know. I love how you start up. I think it's good.
So I took that hot dog half page, tore it into 6 smaller rectangles. And there you go for scale. Throw a pin in here. Let's see about how big those are. Okay. I guys catching up to that point. You get everybody some pencils. I'm just gonna help everybody out. All right, so you can do some separate hair work. There might be a little back there somewhere. Right. Either that, or you can take another piece of paper and patch it with some glue. Okay. Yeah.
A bit behind. How long do I make that?
Yeah. Well, like, yeah. All right, so while everybody's catching up, I went around and gave everybody some pencils, and this is going to help you out on the next step. If you're not exactly up to where I am, that's all right. But if you are, that's really good. Right? And so I'm going to take. Remember, I've got 6 of these rectangles. Now, if you do a little bit differently, you have rectangles that are slightly different size. That's all right. Okay. Because I'm just using these to make a frame. So as long as the frame works, that's all good. Okay. I'm just doing it my way. Okay. I'm going to make some cylinders with these. Now, cylinders are really strong shape. So it's going to be a structural piece. Okay. You just wrap it right around the pencil. Take a line of glue. Hold that for about 20 seconds. That should a nice cylinder piece right there. I'm going to do that for all 6 of those rectangles. Get 6 small cylinders. So I got 6 cylinders. Let this dry. Is anybody short on index paper? Okay, everybody's got enough index paper? Okay, I got some more if you need more. It's right here if you need more. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is make this rod that actually is the linear motion part. It's just going to run this way. Okay. And at the same time, I'll make another cylinder to slip underneath it, just as a structural piece, just to bring it up to the same elevation as everything else. Okay. That was the solution that worked pretty good last class. So remind you guys what I'm talking about. Okay. So remember, the whole thing looks like, oops, looks like this. Okay. So it's working. Right, so we're about to make this bit right here, but also right underneath it, I slipped another cylinder. You guys see this one? Right, just to bring it up to elevation. So let's make both of those. And both of these we can make out of one cardstock paper, right? One full sheet of cardstock paper. We're gonna make a hot dog fold and then get both of those going. Right. So, but yeah, do I have 2 halves lying around? Maybe. I know I've got this half. Nah. Wait a minute. What is? Oh, I do have 2 halves. All right, here I can just use these, right? Oh, or you guys can take a full sheet and make a hot dog fold and do that. No, but I will give these to you guys. Right. Who wants 2 halves? Who wants 2 halves? Right. If you want 2 halves, I'll put them right here. You guys, right there. And I will fold one from scratch. Hot dog fold. Bam, 2 halves right there, just like that. Okay. Now these are both going to be cylinders. Now they have to be a little bit bigger diameter cylinder than the first one. And the reason is that this has to fit inside this right here. It's no, it's going to be perpendicular. But see how this one is feeding into this one? This one's going to have some windows cut in it. You guys see those windows cut? Okay. All right, so this one has to be a larger diameter than this one. Okay. And a good way to make it a larger diameter is to take the one that you already have, right? You guys already have this one, right? And roll this paper around it, because that will guarantee it's a larger diameter. Right? No, I don't want it to be too tight. I want it to be pretty good, larger diameter. But I mean, you should definitely be able to do that. It should be loose enough that this should be able to just like fall out, just like a fall out. Right, so throw a line of glue on that. Start here. This one will take a little bit longer to dry. All right, that's feeling pretty good right there. Okay. And I'll make another one just like that one. Okay. So I got a cylinder there. I'll make one that I'll try to make identical to that one. Piece of structure. Line of blue. Not do that. Yeah. It feels pretty good right there. Need to create a frame. Let's see. Put the frame probably right about here. I should think that'll work. Okay. So you guys remember yesterday, the small cylinders were like cutting feet into them. Okay. So I'm going to do that for these. I'm going to cut some feet. Okay. Actually, I'm going to cut feet on both ends, right? For a bottom and a top. Okay, so that's got some feet right there. Flip it around. It's got more feet right there. Right. Same story with, well, I'll do 4 of these just like that. 4 of these just like that. So, all right, there's feet on the bottom. Flip it around. Feet on the top. Boom. Okay. Cylinder number 3. Feet on the bottom. Flip it around. Feet on the top. And the 4th piece. Feet on the bottom. And flip it around, feet on the top. Spread these feet out. Bam. Now you have to glue these in a good place. So if I glue them right here, see how they like outside the diameter of the circle? So I mean, they're really close to the circumference of the circle, but a little bit outside. Because as this is coming around here, you guys know that this rod is going to come this far this way. So you got to make sure your structure is not going to run into these columns right here, right? Okay. So this rod shouldn't be running into these columns. Okay? And where I have them right now, it's good because it'll miss it. Like it misses them right there. Oh, actually, whoops. Actually, I better butt this back a little bit that way. There you go. So like misses it. Okay. And same thing on the other side. And the other thing you're looking for to get the placement right, because that's like the y-axis on this page. But what about the x-axis? Okay. Well, this rod, see how here's as far back as it'll go. Okay. So we're eventually going to cut windows into this rod that runs perpendicular to it. Okay. So this should extend into that window. Now, tell you what, if this rod right here that's connected to the two wheels is too short, what you can do is take some more index paper, roll that into a cylinder, and put an extension here. It looks like mine's going to be long enough. So, okay, so that's long enough right there. Okay. And then here's this. It's going to go all the way that way, but that's not really a constraint, though. Okay. All right. So think about like what the location of the rod is going to be. Okay. Okay. So I think I found a good place for these two columns. Okay. Oh, and also they should be close enough to each other where the cylinder should be able to go back and forth. It'll be held in place, but it won't be too tight. Okay. So snug, but not too snug. All right. So looking for all those conditions to be true. Right, and if something's a little bit too short, you can go back and put an extension. If something's a little bit too long, you can either move it or cut something. All right, so it's gonna come this far this way. It's gotta go right here. Far back. All right, right there. All right, I think that's what I'm looking for. Right there. Bam. Right there. Got a support column. Got a column right there. This guy right next to him. Fit right next to it. Oh, looks like a good distance away. Next, right where I want it, right there. Yeah, that's right in there. Okay. Take my other two columns and do the same thing on the other side. And I'll swing this around this way. Make sure it's going to be a good spot over here.
I don't know. Never. I would try and say because I have to I'll change and then it's like every single step I'm doing
Yeah. All right. And then you have two more cylinders. We're gonna put those up over top. Actually, if you want to, you could chop one of these in half and just go over the top like that. Which is what I did last class, but I just do the whole thing. So there's some glue across the top here. Same thing over here. And last step. Last step's going to be this rod that's going to be moving back and forth. I just need to cut some windows in it to feed this cylinder through this one. Okay, so I'll go to about the middle. Show you right at the middle. You get right at the middle. Put a window right there. So the way I'm doing this is going about maybe about a third of the way across the diameter there. Okay, do the same thing on the other side. Make a couple of small incisions. About a third of the way across, maybe. Right. Okay. And we're gonna cut this window out. Bam, just like that. The other side, same story. Bam. Got a couple of windows, right? And this should be able to fit in here. So feed this through. Feed this in first. Feed this through. It will fit, right? Right. If your windows are too small, you can go back and cut them a little bit bigger. I think this is going to work, but about to find out. I'll give it a trial run right here. Pop that in place. Oh, wait, that one on. There we go. All right, it's all popped in together. And, look at that. Look at that. It's going around. Well, I'm moving this bit around on the right, and this rod on the left is that's translated into linear motion, just going back and forth, just like that. Oh. All right, so walk around, help you guys out, and that is the final goal right there.